Welcome to Home Biz Tax Talk. My name is Lysandra Everett. I am the Home Biz Tax Lady, where I help home business owners win the tax game. Home Biz Tax Talk airs Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock-ish. And when you tune into my show, you're going to hear about topics that are important to the home business community. So I got a question about whether or not home business owners, small business owners should be on payroll. Okay, so that totally depends on your business structure. So I want to talk about that a little bit so that you understand. So if you have a sole proprietor or you're a single member LLC, okay, as far as the IRS is concerned, it's the same thing, okay? Your taxes look absolutely the same. And so what you are left over with after you after you pay your expenses, what you are left over with is your profit. Okay. And payments to the owner is not considered an expense. It's a part of your profit. So you don't need to withhold taxes on the part that you pay yourself, because you're going to pay that with your self-employment taxes. Okay. So if you have a single member LLC or a sole proprietorship, I am not telling you to not pay yourself. Just know that what you pay yourself is considered profit, and you're going to have to pay taxes on that in your self-employment tax. And if you withhold taxes from a paycheck for you, you're essentially going to be paying taxes twice. Okay. So just don't do that. So you absolutely do pay yourself on a regular schedule. Like if you have a single member LLC or if you are a sole proprietorship and you have employees, pay yourself on the same schedule as you pay your employees. It looks, so that provides structure, and it also helps, the IRS to know that you are not using your business as an ATM and you just taking money out all willy-nilly just because you feel like you need a coffee. We just gonna go pay ourselves. So, it's gonna take money out of the business, right? So pay yourself on a regular schedule, even if you have a single member LLC or a sole proprietorship. So like I said, you're not using your business like a piggy bank. Okay. But then if you have other types of structures like an SCorp or a CCorp, being on payroll is a requirement. So for an SCorp, one of the requirements of an SCorp is that the owner of the business is an employee. So you do have to put yourself on payroll, withhold employment taxes, and you also issue yourself a W-2 at the end of the year. And any profits left over after that is distributed to you, and you don't pay self-employment tax on that. But before you go jump off into the S-Corp abyss, okay, it's not necessarily just saving on self-employment tax, because a lot of times the compliance costs with S-Corps may not be enough to make that decision, right? So, with states have different requirements for LLCs, for S-Corps. And so you also have to know state requirements. You have some states that are minimum tax states. So even though an S-Corp doesn't pay federal taxes, it pays state taxes in a lot of places. So you have to know what your state requirements are before you just go, there's so many people that just hear, oh, you get to save on the self-employment tax. Well, the fact is that it's not really, okay, because the amount that you pay yourself on the W-2, you're going to be withholding taxes. So you're still going to be withholding federal taxes, Social Security, and Medicare. You're still going to be doing those things. It is just a requirement at the S-Corp level that you do that. And so you need to outsource your payroll. You need to have your bookkeeping on point. You need to know what your state requirements are for paying taxes. And then once you do all that, once you do the math on all of that, then you make a decision as to whether or not you become an S-Corp. Please do not take street committee tax advice on just becoming an S-Corp, okay? Just do not. Consult somebody with some experience and that knows taxes and some math, okay? Let's do that. All right, but also for a C-Corp, if you are an owner of a C-Corp and you work in the business, you also have to be an employee, which means, again, paying on a W-2, withholding employment taxes and all that. Paying yourself on a 1099 from an S-Corp or a C-Corp or anything else is an absolute no, okay? Understand that. So if you are working in the business, C Corp, S Corp, you need to be on payroll. But just like I said, as a single member LLC or a sole proprietor, what's left over in profit is considered what you have paid yourself, and you're going to pay taxes on that. So, I still say that you set aside that 30% for taxes. And then at the end of the year, because people, really want to fall out when I say 30% for taxes. But when you get to the end of the year and you have a tax bill, you want to be able to write the check. Or you can pay taxes throughout the year. You can send money in to the government. But you know what this is going to require you to do? It's going to require you to review your books. And a lot of times people are screaming about their tax liability. The people that are screaming about tax liability, and I go back and say, where's your bookkeeping? They don't have it. Okay, bookkeeping is the basis for saving on taxes. So that's a total aside as to what we were talking about, but it's all encompassing. It really is a big picture thing, but if you don't know what's happening in your business, you really don't know how much to pay yourself anyway. You don't know how much you need to set aside for taxes. All you know is you have money coming in and money going out, never really stopping to say, okay, what's really happening with the money? And if there's one huge failure in the home business industry, it's that. It is the lack of attention to the finances of the business, to where we just go and spend, and not really looking at the money, looking at your cash flow, looking at how money is coming in, how money is going out. Like this is like fundamental, structural, foundational, you need to get this right stuff. Okay. So yeah. So as far as a small business owner being on payroll, it completely depends on your structure. But if one of the things to look at that's going to determine if you need to actually get on payroll, like changing to an S Corp or a C Corp, is what you're paying in self-employment tax, what your profit is. There's a bunch of moving pieces to this. So it's not a one size fits all type of answer, because it depends on the amount of money that you're making, what your profit is, the state in which you live. It depends on the total income that is coming into your home. If you've got one person that owns the business, or and the spouse might have some 6-figure boss out job. All of those things factor into whether or not you as a business owner need to be on payroll. Because depending on what that looks like, if you've got a 6-figure boss out spouse and you have your business, then you might need to become an S Corp or a C Corp or something sooner than somebody else, just because of how it would work out for taxes for you. So this is why you just don't make the decision all willy-nilly. You really need to sit down with someone so they can look at your big picture. So, okay, but I hope that answers your question. It totally depends on your structure as to whether or not you need to be on payroll, withholding employment taxes and paying those to the government and all that stuff. Okay. So I encourage you, if you have this question, I encourage you to schedule a consultation with your accountant to look at the math. All right. Whoever prepared your taxes should be able to sit down with you to say, hey, these are the changes that you need to make for the coming year in order for you to reduce this tax bill. And yes, you will have to pay for the consultation. Okay, let me say that, because the money that you invest to pay in that consultation is going to save you thousands and thousands on end. And I hear people crying about paying for consultation. I'm going to need for you all to have several seats, because people pay a lot of money to learn what they know. And if paying a couple $100 is going to help you save thousands over time, it is worth the investment. Okay. So that's it for today's episode of Home Biz Tax Talk. Again, we air Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock-ish. And when you tune into my show, you're going to hear about things that are important to your home business. And if you have not booked your 15-minute complimentary consultation, you can do so right here, www.homebiztaxchat.com. All right, have a great day, and I'll see y'all next time after I wake up. All right, bye.